Good morning, everyone. Welcome to Power Apps Learning Day 3 class. A quick recap of the previous classes. We have studied about Office 365. What is Office 365? How many avenues are there in Office 365? And we have also discussed which avenue is for what. And we have also discussed about what are the avenues we will be learning. And then we quickly looked at creating a Office 365 tenant and also walk through the various options in Office 365 tenant. And we looked at how to navigate onto Power Apps portal, Power BI portal, Power Automate portal. And we wanted to create the tenants for our own practice. Any challenges in creating tenant? If everybody created tenant, that will be awesome. If anybody has any challenge, please unmute yourself and let me know the challenge what you are experiencing. So if we can address that, we will address that here. If not, I will call out names randomly and see their tenants. Anything works.
Good morning, sir. Sir, while creating the tenant, we don't have any problem, sir. But while creating the database in Power Apps, I have some problems. It shows that I have problem with resources. I don't have certain access to it.
Simha, we wanted to create tenant. Simha, we never wanted to create database. We will learn that later.
Okay, sir.
Good job, though. Okay, so all are good. I mean, good to call out and ask you to share your screen. Suryavamsi,
Yes, sir.
create చేశారమ్మా మీరు.
Yeah, చేశాను sir.
Share your screen.
Yes, sir. I will connect to the laptop.
Okay, in today's class, we will be.
Sir, can I present my screen, sir?
You good, Amma. We'll see that later.
Okay, sir.
In today's class, we will be learning about what are all various options in Power Apps Macro Portal. What is Power Apps Macro Portal? What are all the various controls we can leverage while creating the apps? And also, what is Azure Active Directory? AD stands for Active Directory. What is Azure Active Directory? How to navigate onto Azure Active Directory? How to create the user accounts in Azure Active Directory and log in with those user accounts so that we can learn how to share the apps which we create in Power Apps. ఈరోజు క్లాస్లో పవర్ యాప్స్ పోర్టల్ గురించి పవర్ యాప్ పోర్టల్లో ఉన్నటువంటి వేరియస్ ఆప్షన్స్ గురించి అదేవిధంగా Azure యాక్టివ్ డైరెక్టరీ Azure AD అంటే Azure యాక్టివ్ డైరెక్టరీ Azure యాక్టివ్ డైరెక్టరీలో ఉన్న ఆప్షన్స్ దాంట్లో యూజర్స్ క్రియేట్ చేయడం ఎలా మనం క్రియేట్ చేయబోయే పవర్ యాప్స్ని మనం ఆ యూజర్స్కి ఎలా షేర్ చేయాలి షేర్ చేయడంలో ఎన్ని రకాల ఆప్షన్స్ ఉన్నాయి అనేది నేర్చుకోబోతున్నాము అదేవిధంగా we will create a new power app and we will explore various options. By clicking onto Waffle menu and just right click and open a new tab will open Power Apps Maker Portal. That is one way. And the other way is you can open a tab and say make.powerapps.com. I repeat, make.powerapps.com. Depends on the region the user is navigating the portal. Office 365 will render the domain respectively. What is the domain and what is the region? My bad. Will render the portal as per the region. What is the region? In Office 365, Microsoft had created three regions. Depending on the user, where the user is coming from, whether the user is coming from Asia region or the user is coming from North America region or user is coming from Europe region. So basically, Microsoft had created three different regions to serve the user request. If you try to recall in the previous class, what we learned is how the user's request will be rendered, right? When user open Power Apps portal, it will go to the load balancer and it will go to the web front-end server. These web front-end servers sits into various regions in Office 365 as part of Microsoft servers. Okay, that will be redirected to particular web server and then the respective job will be executed. యూజర్స్ చేసే యాక్సెస్ని బట్టి ఆ యూజర్స్ ఏ రీజియన్లో ఉన్నారు అనేది ఆఫీస్ 365 డిసైడ్ చేసి ఆ పర్టికులర్ రీజియన్లో ఉన్నటువంటి సర్వర్ని ఆఫీస్ 365 రెండర్ చేస్తుంది. మీరు మాట్లాడిన వాళ్ళు కొంచెం ఇంట్లో ఉంటే ఎక్కువ రాకుండా ఉంటుంది, నాకు ఎక్కువ వస్తుందమ్మా. సో లాస్ట్ క్లాస్లో మనం నేర్చుకున్నట్టుగా పవర్ యాప్స్ లేదా పవర్ ఆటోమేట్ లేదా పవర్ బిఐని యూజరు ఓపెన్ చేసినప్పుడు ఫస్ట్ అది లోడ్ బ్యాలెన్సర్కి వెళ్ళి లోడ్ బ్యాలెన్సర్ నుంచి వెబ్ సర్వర్కి వెళ్తుంది. ఆ వెబ్ సర్వర్ అనేది ఏ రీజన్లో ఉన్న వెబ్ సర్వర్ ఓపెన్ అవ్వాలి అనేది ఆఫీస్ 365 యూజర్ లాగిన్ అయ్యే దాన్ని బట్టి డిసైడ్ చేస్తారు. మైక్రోసాఫ్ట్ వాళ్ళు 3 రీజన్స్ క్రియేట్ చేశారు. ఆ 3 రీజన్స్ ఏమేంటంటే ఏషియా, నార్త్ అమెరికా, యూరోప్. ఈ 3 రీజన్స్లో నుంచి ఎంటైర్ వరల్డ్ లెవెల్లో ఉన్నటువంటి రిక్వెస్ట్లన్నిటినీ కూడా మైక్రోసాఫ్ట్ వాడు సెగ్రిగేట్ చేస్తున్నాడు. సో మనం రెండర్ చేసిన వెంటనే ఆఫీస్ 365 సర్వర్ డిసైడ్ చేసి ఆ పర్టిక్యులర్ వెబ్ ఫ్రంట్ ఎండ్ సర్వర్ని ఇన్వోక్ చేసి ఆ వెబ్ ఫ్రంట్ ఎండ్ సర్వర్లో ఉన్న వన్ ఆఫ్ ది అవైలబుల్ సర్వర్ లోడ్ బ్యాలెన్సర్ అసోసియేట్ ఉన్న సర్వర్కి ఆ రిక్వెస్ట్ని రీడైరెక్ట్ చేస్తుంది. క్లియర్? ఎనీ క్వశ్చన్స్? చాలా ఇంపార్టెంట్ అమ్మా. ఇవన్నీ కూడా బేసిక్స్. సర్వర్కి ఎలా రిక్వెస్ట్ రీడైరెక్ట్ అవుతుంది అనేది తెలియాలి. తెలియకపోతే అసలు మనం ఓపెన్ చేసినటువంటి పోర్టల్ ఎలా ఓపెన్ అవుతుందో అర్థం కాదు. ఎనీ క్వశ్చన్స్?
సార్
చెప్పండి.
సార్ ఇప్పుడు మేము ఏషియాలో ఉన్నాం. మేము ఏషియా రీజియన్ నుంచి కాకుండా వేరే ఏదైనా రీజియన్స్ నుంచి డేటా సెంటర్స్ తీసుకోవచ్చా?
మీరు కాన్ఫిగర్ చేసేటప్పుడు మీ కంట్రీ డిసైడ్ చేస్తుంది సార్. అది మీరు టెనెంట్ క్రియేట్ చేస్తున్నప్పుడు మీరు టెనెంట్ చెప్తారు కదా విచ్ కంట్రీ యు ఆర్ ఫ్రమ్ అనేది. that will decide which region your tenant is sitting under.
అంటే మేము టెనెంట్ క్రియేట్ చేసుకున్నప్పుడు ఫస్ట్ డేటా సెంటర్ తీసుకోండి సార్. అంటే కంట్రీ తీసుకోకుండా ఫస్ట్ డేటా సెంటర్ తీసుకుంది. ఆ తర్వాత డేటాబేస్ క్రియేషన్ దగ్గర అయినప్పుడు మమ్మల్ని కంట్రీ అడుగుతుంది.
అదే
ప్రీవియస్గా అడగలేదు.
కరెక్ట్ దట్స్ వాట్ ఐ మీన్. మీరు డిసైడ్ చేస్తున్నారు కదా, మీరు చెప్తున్నారు కదా, యూఆర్ మెన్షనింగ్ రైట్ ఫ్రమ్ విచ్ రీజన్ యూఆర్ కమింగ్ అనేది.
ఎస్ సార్.
అప్పుడు మీ లాగిన్ అయ్యేటప్పుడు అది బ్యాక్ ఎండ్కి వెళ్ళి ఈ లాగిన్ ఏ రీజియన్ నుంచి వచ్చినటువంటి యూజర్ అనేది డిసైడ్ అయ్యి ఆ రీజియన్ కి సంబంధించినటువంటి వెబ్ సర్వర్స్ కి ఆ రిక్వెస్ట్ ని రీడైరెక్ట్ చేస్తుంది. ఆ రీజియన్ లో ఉన్న వెబ్ ఫ్రంట్ ఎండ్ సర్వర్స్ ఏది అవైలబిలిటీ ఉంటే అప్పుడు ఆ రీజియన్ లో ఉన్న వన్ ఆఫ్ ది వెబ్ ఫ్రంట్ ఎండ్ సర్వర్ ని అది ఇన్వోక్ చేస్తుంది. Did I answer your question?
ఓకే సార్.
అర్థమైందమ్మా?
ఎస్ సార్.
Good questions, Simha.
థ్యాంక్ యూ సార్.
Any further questions, students? In the last class, we thoroughly walked through on these options on the left-hand rail, correct? Can somebody confirm on that?
Yes, sir.
Yes,
sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Yes.
Today we will spend little more time on this landing screen and some more options over here, okay? And we have also discussed about this environments. When you click on your name, you will see the environments, and we also discussed about various environments we have at the Power Platform level, right? And we also learned this icon or the symbol here, we call it as gear icon. Settings icon, we call it as gear icon. When you click on the gear icon, we see some more options as admin center, which takes you onto the Power Platform admin center, and the plans, which shows you various licenses plans available here for you, and advanced settings will show you to make your portal. What are the advanced settings you wanted to set here? We will learn down the line. Let's not worry about that for now. And session details, which shows you the complete details of the session. Here you could see which region your system is running from. You see that geo name is US. You can see which region your system is or your tenant is segregated under. My tenant is segregated under US region, which is North America. May I request all the students to go on mute? Shivakumar, if you don't mind, mute lo untamana. Shivakumar,
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
thank you.
Yes, sir.
And what are all the environment types? Everything we will see here. That is called session details. Where else we needed these session details are if you have any issue. This is something you will have to know when you really work on real-time environment. When you have any issue on your system, or when you have any issue with your Power App, and when you log a ticket with Microsoft, Microsoft will ask you, could you please provide session details? This is the session detail we will have to provide, so they know which session you are working on and which tenant ID is yours. Every details of your account they'll come to know. And developer resources, what are all the various developer resources we have, the endpoint of the developer resource, developer center, blah 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 stories, okay? And last but not least, Power Apps settings. When you go onto Power App settings, which language you wanted to see by default, you can set up your portal by default which language you wanted to render. Okay, as I said, we also have the Hindi. If somebody is very passionate to see their entire portal in Hindi, they're good to render the portal as Hindi portal. And the notifications, you can set up your notifications if you want to hear what are the various notifications and updates what Microsoft is uh, releasing on what Microsoft is pushing. You will come to know, and you can just say save or discard. So which will tell you what are all the various actions or various releases Microsoft is planning on Power Apps or Power Apps portal. Remember, students, Office 365 is under the control of Microsoft. Nothing we can control. What do you mean by that exactly? If Microsoft decides that their product or their changes is ready for the external world to read, they simply push their changes as a patch. Microsoft Office 365 అనేది మైక్రోసాఫ్ట్ వాడి ప్రోడక్ట్. మైక్రోసాఫ్ట్ వాడు చేసే ఎన్హాన్స్మెంట్స్ కనుక అప్ టు ది మార్క్ లేదంటే ఫుల్లీ థరోలీ టెస్టెడ్ అయితే ఎక్స్టర్నల్ వరల్డ్ గుడ్ టు యూస్ అనేది ఇంటర్నల్ వాళ్ళ టెస్టింగ్ లో క్వాలిఫై అయితే మనకి ఏ విధంగా కూడా పర్మిషన్ కానీ అట్లాంటివి ఏమి తీసుకోడు. వాడి ప్యాచ్ ని ఇమ్మీడియట్ గా పుష్ చేస్తాడు. అంటే వాడు ఏ చేంజ్ చూడాలనుకుంటున్నాడో ఆ చేంజ్ ఇమ్మీడియట్ గా వస్తుంది. ఎగ్జాంపుల్, క్లిక్ ఆన్ బ్లాంక్ యాప్, ఈ పాపప్ వస్తుంది చూసారా మీరు? ఈ పాపప్ ఒక 6 months బ్యాక్ లేదు. ఈ పాపప్ రిలీజ్ చేస్తున్నావు అని కూడా చెప్పడం. ఇట్ జస్ట్ కమ్స్ ఇన్ లైక్ దట్. ఓకే, whatever the pop-up you see by clicking on the blank app, you could see just like that. They don't inform you nor they don't take your permission to release the enhancements onto Power Apps. So it is a everyday surprise environment for you that what else is added. If something is disappeared also, don't get too surprised. They are complete owners to add or to take off anything as part of their environment. Clear? Any questions?
No, sir.
No, sir. No, sir.
No, sir.
No, sir.
Good. Did we discuss about this page last time? Students, did we discuss about these two pages? Home and create page.
No, sir.
Okay. Power Apps, in Power Apps portal, Power Apps Maker portal, when you see home and create, which looks mostly similar, very similar, but only one difference you could see is when you go onto home, you could see how you wanted to start your app, and you also see learning every level, meaning that learning area you will see here, and you will also see various apps you have already created in your previous sections or previous logins. That is what you could see as part of your home screen. But whereas you go on to the create screen, you will see how you want to create your app, what is the start point of your app. But the beneath or the bottom part of the screen, second section second section of your screen, you will see all the various templates available at the Maker portal. What do you mean by exactly templates? Microsoft has created some apps and made it readily available for you to start using them. What does that mean? When you go on to PowerPoint, and when you say new blank app, new blank presentation, it creates with a new blank presentation. But if you see, there are various other templates you could choose, and when you create with the Eon boardroom, the look and feel of this presentation is completely different, isn't it? And I can also apply some default layouts or default structures onto my presentation. See, if you see here, it added a video automatically. So, meaning what is this is called a template. They are giving a template for you to use. This template is readily available under Office 365 or PowerPoint suite. Similarly, here also they created something called a template library, which has a list of templates or list of apps available for you to start using them. Okay, you can create an app by clicking on any of these templates here. Okay, let us go ahead and create one of the app here by using the template and see how it look like and what all I can create in just 2 minutes. I repeat, in just 2 minutes. And this is the search. You can just search with that. I'm just trying to create a out of office app. I'm just selecting out of office template. Where am I? I'm under make.powerapps.com portal, create page. Under create page, I'm trying to create an app with out of office app template. Just give a name stating that demo to, and I'm just saying like what format we wanted to create. I'll walk you through on that. For now, just remember that I'm selecting tablet. Just say create. How long we are spending? We are spending less than 2 minutes, but it will create a complete app. It is asking you that, hey boss, you are going to leverage two connectors in this app. I am very sure that I we have discussed about the connectors. Can somebody say that yes or no on that? Did we discuss about connectors in the last class? Could somebody say on that?
Discussed about data connectors, sir.
We have we not discussed about the connectors, Simha? Okay, just say allow for now. We will discuss about the connectors. Open app, and when you just click on the play button here in the portal, or you can use the keyboard Fi icon, Fi key also, which will just say that what the app is going to do. The app is all about creating a entry in out of office, entry for out of office. Say that it clearly shows that no events available because we have just configured the app and just say create new. It just opens up new uh, out of office request screen, and I can just select which date I am going to be out of office and what time to what time. I'll say that 23 to 25 I will be out of office, and say like out of office or like personal vacation. Remember, I have not done anything. I have used template and app got created. What type of vacation you are planning? I'm going to personal vacation. And do you have email access, none internet access, or full email access? I don't have email access. And the personal vacation, during my personal vacation, who would be a point of contact for me? Okay, say like David Wilson is my point of contact and say next. What is the message I want to show when somebody trigger an email? If you notice, David Wilson is what I have selected in the previous step, right? So that is the reason it shows here as the David Wilson as part of my inside my organization and outside my organization. Beauty is that it is setting a out of office reply on my emails also. Okay, send reply even out of organization wanted or you don't want it. If you click on this, then only it will let you send for out of office outside the organization also. Meaning that, example, you are working in TCS or you are working in Cognizant, you are working in Wipro or you are working in any other Capgemini or any other company. When you are going out, going on a vacation, you are expected to set up out of office on your Outlook. So it will set up everything for you. Like if somebody sends in the organization, how you want to reply, like your point of contact, your manager name, every other detail. But if the mail is from outside the organization, usually we set up a different format of out of office reply to them. So how you wanted to segregate and then click on submit. Boom. See that? Now you could see the request is going to be like this. So the reply is going to be like this. Click on update, which will update. If you want to just say like any update, say like, okay, this is not formatted properly. You can just say this. Yes, that's all. So it will create one out of office email reply. How could I validate on that? Just go on to uh, Outlook, go on to calendar and Outlook. What are the dates we mentioned here? 23rd to 25th. Go on to 23rd. Okay, looks like it is taking time to add. Ideally, it will just get add over here as out of office for the entire day. You just try it out. Oh, sorry, personal vacation. Here it is. If you just click on that, it shows you from what date to what date you are going to be. Now, if you just don't want it, you can also remove that by going on to this event. Click on here, and you can just change that. This one is personal vacation as demo. Now, if you come here, see that one more thing got added. So that is how we can quickly do that. How long we spent here? Not even 5 minutes, right? That is the power of Power Apps. You can create every simple event or you can access your Outlook also here. Coming back to Power Apps, what are all the artifacts or what are all the uh, services you can access from Power Apps is you can access any service within Office 365 seamlessly with Power Apps. Okay, did you guys understood what we did or no?
Yes.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
So within no time, we can quickly create the app and we can modify and we can just do whatever we wanted to do on that app. Okay, coming back to again the home screen or create screen. What is this? If you notice closely, there are 5 options and first option is a blank app. When I click on this, it is opening up another pop-up. But when I click on this, it is not opening a pop-up. It is taking me directly onto another screen because the first option is to let the user to create an app from the blank. But these options are not that. These options are to create the app from the data what they have already existed or already using. ఇప్పుడు మీరు ల్యాండింగ్ స్క్రీన్ లో కనుక చూస్తే బ్లాంక్ యాప్ అనేది క్లిక్ చేస్తే పాపప్ వస్తుంది. అక్కడి నుంచి మీరు యాప్ ని క్రియేట్ చేసుకోవచ్చు. కానీ ఈ ఆప్షన్స్ క్లిక్ చేస్తే అది వేరే స్క్రీన్ కి తీసుకువెళ్ళి అక్కడి నుంచి మీకు యాప్ డైరెక్ట్ గా క్రియేట్ చేసేలాగా ఆప్షన్స్ ఇస్తుంది. ఎందుకంటే ఈ 4 ఆప్షన్స్ తో మీరు యాప్ ని డేటా నుంచి క్రియేట్ చేస్తున్నారు. ఎగ్జిస్టింగ్ డేటా ఉన్న డేటాబేస్ నుంచి యాప్ ని క్రియేట్ చేయడానికి డిసైడ్ అయినప్పుడు ఈ 4 ఆప్షన్స్ లో ఒక ఆప్షన్ యూజ్ చేయొచ్చు. మీ డేటా ఎక్కడ ఉందో దాన్ని బట్టి మీరు సెలెక్ట్ చేసుకోవచ్చు. డేటావర్స్ అనేది మనం డిస్కస్ చేసాము. ఎగ్జిస్టింగ్ ఇన్బిల్ట్ డేటాబేస్ ఫర్ పవర్ యాప్స్ అనేది మనం ఆల్రెడీ నేర్చుకున్నాము. మనకి అక్కడి నుంచి ఉందా, షేర్ పాయింట్ అనే కొలాబరేషన్ పోర్టల్ నుంచి ఉందా, ఎక్సెల్ లో ఉందా, సీక్వెల్ లో ఉందా అనేది మీరు సెలెక్ట్ చేస్తే పవర్ యాప్స్ అప్రోప్రియేట్ గా యాప్ కనెక్షన్స్ జనరేట్ చేస్తుంది. బిఫోర్ వి గో దేర్, కనెక్టర్స్ అనేది ఎక్కడ ఉంటాయంటే అండర్ డేటాలో కనెక్షన్స్ అనేది ఉంటుంది. జస్ట్ రైట్ క్లిక్, ఓ న్యూ ట్యాబ్. It shows you all the various connections you can create for your usage or for you to create applications. When you click on new connection, it shows you all the various connectors you can create. As of today, in Power Apps, you can create close to 250 various connectors. And యాజ్ ఆఫ్ టుడే మీరు 250 కనెక్టర్స్ ని పవర్ యాప్స్ లో క్రియేట్ చేయొచ్చు. ఈ 250 కనెక్టర్స్ కూడా వేరియస్ సర్వీసెస్ అండర్ ఆఫీస్ 365. ఇక్కడ మీకు కనిపించేవి ప్రతిదీ కూడా ఆఫీస్ 365 లో ఉన్నవి లేదా ఫ్యూ ఆఫ్ ద సర్వీసెస్ ఆర్ ఎక్స్టర్నల్ సర్వీసెస్, వెరీ ఫ్యూ. అడాబ్ ఆఫీస్ లో ఉండదండి, బయట నుంచి వస్తుంది. అది అడాబ్ అంటే మన పీడిఎఫ్ కి సంబంధించినటువంటి సాఫ్ట్వేర్. హోప్ఫుల్లీ మీకు పీడిఎఫ్ తెలుసు అని అనుకుంటున్నాను నేను. పీడిఎఫ్ తెలుసు కదమ్మా, పీడిఎఫ్ ఫైల్స్ తెలుసు కదా మీ అందరికి.
Yes, sir.
అదే విధంగా మీకు సర్వీస్ నౌ అనేది టికెటింగ్ సిస్టమ్స్ ఉంటాయి. సర్వీస్ నౌ అని చెప్పి యూజువల్ గా మన ఐటీ వరల్డ్ లో ఉండేది ఏంటంటే టికెటింగ్ సిస్టమ్ సర్వీస్ నౌ ఉంటుంది. బిజ్టాక్ సర్వర్స్ ఇవన్నీ కూడా కొన్ని అవుట్ సైడ్ ఆఫీస్ 365 సర్వీసెస్ తో కూడా కమ్యూనికేట్ చేయడానికి ఆఫీస్ 365 మైక్రోసాఫ్ట్ వాడి సర్వీసెస్ క్రియేట్ చేశాడు. ప్రతి సర్వీస్ ని కూడా మనం కనెక్షన్ ఎస్టాబ్లిష్ చేసుకోవాలి. ఎగ్జాంపుల్, దిస్ ఇస్ ఆఫీస్ 365 అవుట్లుక్ కనెక్షన్. క్లిక్ ఆన్ న్యూ, it will create a new connection. Since I already have connection, see this, if I just come here, say Outlook. So these many connections I've already created while creating various other services or apps. Okay, so those are all that is how it will create connections. When you try to recollect, just before when I was creating the app, it was asking me to just certify on the connections, right? Because those connections are already used as part of the app. So Office 365 is asking your permission that, hey, this app is using these two connectors. Are you okay to proceed or not? Okay. Next one is again go back to create. When you click on blank app, it just shows you 3 options. Let's understand what are these 3 options. One is the blank canvas app, blank app based on Dataverse, blank website. What are these? Understand. Power Apps has 3 different approaches. One approach is called canvas app, And the second approach is called app based on Dataverse. We also called as, excuse me, we also called as model driven app. And the third one is called blank website. We also called as Power Apps Portal. I repeat, Power Apps కి మూడు అప్రోచెస్ ఉన్నాయండి. ఫస్ట్ అప్రోచ్ ఇస్ క్యాన్వాస్ యాప్ అనే అప్రోచ్. సెకండ్ అప్రోచ్ డేటావర్స్ అనే డేటాబేస్ పైన కూర్చునే అప్రోచ్, అది మోడల్ డ్రివెన్ యాప్ అని అంటారు. థర్డ్ అప్రోచ్ వచ్చేసి వెబ్సైట్ రెండిషన్ ఆర్ వెబ్సైట్ క్రియేషన్, దాన్ని పవర్ యాప్స్ పోర్టల్ అని అంటారు. సో విచ్ వన్ యూ వాంట్ టు క్రియేట్ ఫ్రమ్ ది బేస్ అనేది ఇక్కడ అడుగుతుంది. ఓకే, గో హెడ్ అండ్ సే క్యాన్వాస్ యాప్. ఓకే, ఏది ఎప్పుడు యూజ్ చేయాలి? వెన్ టు యూజ్ క్యాన్వాస్ యాప్, వెన్ టు యూజ్ డేటావర్స్ అండ్ వెన్ టు యూజ్ పోర్టల్. When user data is segregated across various data sources, user is coming and telling us that, hey, my data is already there with SQL. Also, some data is there in SharePoint. A bit very tiny part of the data is in Excel, meaning the entire data of the user is segregated into three different areas: SQL, SharePoint, and Excel. I have to communicate with all three of them. Then your best friend is Canvas. You cannot create a model driven app on top of a SQL database. If మీ డేటా యూజర్ వచ్చి నా డేటా SQL, Excel, SharePoint లో ఉంది, I want to create an app to communicate with that ante, you have to advise the user that you need to create Canvas app అనేది చెప్పాలి. ఎందుకని క్యాన్వాస్ యాప్ లోనే మనం వేరియస్ డేటా సోర్సెస్ లో ఉన్నటువంటి డేటాని కమ్యూనికేట్ చేయడానికి అవుతుంది. మోడల్ డ్రివెన్ యూస్ చేస్తే డేటాని కమ్యూనికేట్ చేయలేము. మోడల్ డ్రివెన్ ఒక్క డేటావర్స్ తో మాత్రమే మాట్లాడగలదు. డేటావర్స్ కాకుండా ఇంక ఏ డేటాబేస్ తీసుకున్నా కూడా అది కమ్యూనికేట్ చేయలేదు. If user come to you and say that I have a requirement of external user comes in and uses very oftenly, but I don't want anything to happen, anything that external user to update the system. All I want is external user come in and look at the system and just submit some approvals, provide some approvals. And also I want to create various sections of the page and render from various other areas, then your best friend is Power Apps Portal. If user has everything under Dataverse and they are not picky on the UI, picky ante very clear on the UI, they don't want a colorful UI, then Dataverse with model driven apps. క్యాన్వాస్ యాప్ యూస్ చేస్తే మీరు యూజర్కి చాలా కలర్ఫుల్ యూఐ ఇవ్వచ్చండి. డేటావర్స్లో మీరు కలర్ఫుల్ యూఐ ప్రజెంట్ చేయలేరు, ఎందుకంటే డేటావర్స్లో క్రియేట్ చేసినటువంటి మోడల్ డ్రివెన్ యాప్కి it doesn't support UI customization, which we will learn slowly. Okay, for now, go ahead and click on Create Canvas app. The time you click on Create Canvas app, it is asking you what is the format you wanted to create. Remember, we have discussed that app is meant to, Power Apps is meant to provide mobility. Users want to complete their actions, or users want to perform their operations from anywhere in their regular life, whether they are having their dinner or having their lunch, or whether they are outside or while travel, they wanted to accomplish their job. So that is what is basically entire world is looking at, mobility. So when you create an app, you will have to specify what is the target audience type. The target audience is sitting at the desk and doing their job, then just go ahead and click on tablet. If the target audience is mostly onto mobile, what is the use case or what is the example for that scenario is that you are creating an app where it is going to be used by pharmaceutical company, drug company. Okay, they have dealers or representatives who are on the field, mostly use mobile to take orders from the retailers or wholesale medical shops. When they go to there, it is very difficult for them to open the laptop and connect to the internet and wait for the website to come. That's a long process which sometimes they might have to wait from 10 to 15 minutes, which is absolutely waste of time. Imagine that the same thing they can perform from their mobile. They don't even waste 2 minutes. App will render within 2 minutes. App opens up in within 2 minutes. And they can just open the app and take orders or take the consent from the wholesale or retail marketing team. Is that clear? మనం పవర్ యాప్ క్రియేట్ చేసేది మొబిలిటీ కోసం. ఇవాళ ప్రతి వాళ్ళు కూడా వాళ్ళ వర్క్ ని వెదర్ దే ఆర్ అట్ ది డెస్క్ లేదంటే ఫీల్డ్ లో ఉన్నారా అనేది లేకుండా సీమ్లెస్ గా ఏ విధమైనటువంటి ఇబ్బంది లేకుండా చేయటం కోసం చూస్తున్నారు. కాబట్టి మనం యాప్ ని క్రియేట్ చేసేటప్పుడే మన యూజర్స్ ఏ బేసిస్ లో వర్క్ చేస్తారో తెలుసుకోవాలి. యూజర్స్ గనక మోస్ట్లీ ఆఫీస్ లో కూర్చుని చేసే యూజర్స్ అయితే గో హెడ్ అండ్ క్లిక్ టాబ్లెట్. ఇఫ్ యూజర్స్ కనుక మోస్ట్లీ ఆఫ్ ది ఆఫీస్ లేదంటే ఫీల్డ్ వర్కర్స్ అయితే ఫోన్ లేఅవుట్ అనేది చూస్ చేసుకోండి. ఫార్మాట్ ఇస్ నథింగ్ బట్ లేఅవుట్. యూజర్స్ ఏ బేసిస్ లో ఉన్నారు అనేది దాన్ని బట్టి మనం లేఅవుట్ చూస్ చేసుకోవాలి. ఈ టాబ్లెట్ లేఅవుట్ అయితే ఇలా వస్తుంది, ఫోన్ లేఅవుట్ అయితే ఇలా వస్తుంది. మొబైల్ లేఅవుట్ అంటే ఎగ్జాంపుల్ ఫర్ మొబైల్ లేఅవుట్ ఏంటంటే ఫార్మాసిటికల్ కంపెనీ, ఒక డ్రగ్ కంపెనీ, రెడ్డి ల్యాబ్స్ లాంటి డ్రగ్ కంపెనీ మనకు అందరికి ఫెమిలియర్ గా ఉండే ఎగ్జాంపుల్. సో అక్కడ వచ్చేసి ఫీల్డ్ లో ఉండే వాళ్ళు ఎక్కువ ఫీల్డ్ కి వెళ్ళి అక్కడ ఫార్మాసిటికల్ కంపెనీకి సంబంధించినటువంటి అన్ని హోల్సేల్ రిటైల్ షాప్స్ వాళ్ళ దగ్గరికి వెళ్ళి వాళ్ళ ఆర్డర్స్ తీసుకోవడానికి ల్యాప్టాప్ ఓపెన్ చేసి నెట్ కనెక్ట్ చేస్తే చాలా టైం పట్టే ప్రాసెస్. కాబట్టి మొబైల్ యూస్ చేసి మొబైల్ తో చేస్తే టైం వేస్ట్ ఉండదు. అందు గురించి మనం మొబైల్ ఫోన్ లేఅవుట్ కూడా సెలెక్ట్ చేసుకుంటే, ఫోన్ యాప్ క్రియేట్ చేసేటప్పుడు
సార్
ఫోన్ లేఅవుట్ సెలెక్ట్ చేసుకుంటే యూజర్స్ కి ఈజీగా ఉంటుంది. చెప్పమ్మా.
sir, what if we need to target both tablet and phone?
Good question. Hold on to your question. Good question. Hold on. I'll cover that.
Okay, sir. Okay, sir.
Okay. Clear? Just provide a name for the app. Select sample app. See the intelligence. It immediately validated and it says like app sample app is already there. Okay. Sample app. Okay. Now I'm good to create the app. When I click on create app, it automatically takes me onto the app maker portal. This is how app initial layout look like. Coming back to Chandravarma's question, what if I want to target both desktop users and mobile users? When you create an app with the tablet layout and the user want to render that app on the mobile, that works as it is, no issues at all. But only the issue is the app will automatically takes you onto landscape model. పోర్ట్రైట్ ల్యాండ్స్కేప్ రెండు ఉంటాయి కదండి మొబైల్లో. ఇలా వర్టికల్ గా పట్టుకుంటే
Yes, sir. Yes,
ఉన్నది
sir.
పోర్ట్రైట్ మోడల్. వెన్ యూ టర్న్ ద యాప్ ఆన్ టు హారిజాంటల్, దట్స్ కాల్డ్ ల్యాండ్స్కేప్ మోడల్. సో ఆటోమేటిక్ గా యాప్ అనేది మీ స్క్రీన్ అనేది ల్యాండ్స్కేప్ మోడల్లో కన్వర్ట్ అయ్యి యాప్ ని రెండర్ చేస్తుంది. దెర్ ఇస్ నో ఇష్యూ. ల్యాండ్స్కేప్ వచ్చేసరికి ఏమవుతుంది, ఆటోమేటిక్ గా మీకు హైట్ అనేది తగ్గిపోతుంది. కాబట్టి యూజర్ కి అంత ఈజీ రెండిషన్ ఉండదు, ఈజీగా రెండర్ అవ్వదు. కొంచెం దే మైట్ ఫీల్ అన్ఈజీ. So what we have to implement the app in the phone layout so that ఆటోమేటికల్గా ఫోన్ లేఅవుట్లో ఉన్నటువంటి లేఅవుట్ మనం చూస్ చేసుకున్నాం కాబట్టి యాప్ రెండిషన్ అంటే రెండర్ అయ్యేది ప్రాపర్గా రెండర్ అవుతుంది మొబైల్లో. అర్థమైందన్న?
Okay, sir. Thank you, sir.
Okay, let's spend some time on the important aspects or each and every element of the screen. Did we discuss this?
No, sir.
Okay, so I'm creating
No,
an
sir.
app, and now let's see what is what in the Power Apps Maker portal. This is where you could see what is the name of the app, and this is called Health Checker or App Checker. When you click on this, on the stat icon, it shows you what is good and what is bad. It shows you all the formula errors, runtime errors, if there are any rules, what are the issues with the rules, and accessibility issues and performance issues here. Always ensure that it is not showing a red icon here. We will see red icon under the health check while we are creating the while we progress creating the app. This is to undo your changes, and this is redo your changes. This is to play the app. This is to share the app with other users in the organization. And this is what is new. Okay. These are steps like go to documentation, support, blah blah blah. Okay. Coming to the options, file is to save the app. It shows you all the existing apps, and you can just change your app name here, -1, just say save. It just let you save the name change for the first time. But if you say make some change and click on save, it will not let you change the title of the app for the second time. If you want to change the title of the app, go on to settings, click on this small pencil. After that, you can change the app title. Now I'm going to just say save. Beauty is it immediately applies the name change. And when you go here, and you can just see the same here. Okay. Under settings, let's see what are all the various other options we have. When you see the second thing is description of the app. This is make a habit of adding description to the app. This is best practice. Is this mandatory? No, it is a best practice. What is the icon you wanted to see for the app? Where do you see that? Go back to apps. You see that small pencil icon here. If you don't want to see that pencil icon, if you want to see something else like these things, you can just go and change your icon here, or you can also add your custom image. Okay, so example, I wanted to say such and so that I can always say that, or anything for that matter, anything. Okay, say like this refrigerator. And if you want to just remove the background color, or if you want to set some other background color, there it is. I can change the background color of the app. Where do you see that? Again, you can see it here. And also while users are running the app, while users are playing the app, you can see that. And next thing is automatically save. What is auto save is that when you are making change and you don't want to lose your changes on the app, you can just say on. So when you say on, what it will do, it automatically save your changes on every 2 minutes basis. The next one is data row limit. Data row limit is very important. ask me if it is not clear. I'm explaining now. Data row limit means that data, how much data we wanted to see as part of the data call. Example, when I say select star from students, I want to see only maximum of, excuse me, sorry, it's too early in the morning to me, so I'm getting too many yawnings. Data row limit, if I want to see maximum of 1000, I can specify 1000. When I say 500, what that does mean that when I request on the database, I want to see maximum of 500 records as part of my request data return set. What is the maximum I can set is 2000. If I say 2001, it clearly shows that, hey boss, you can get the data minimum of one row or maximum of 2000 rows. This is the biggest limit we have. But no human in this universe can read more than 100 records at a time with their naked eye. So there are various other workarounds to render data in lakhs and lakhs of rows. Okay, so I'll put it back to 500 as the default data row limit and improve your data source experience. It is our Dataverse, as in when you get new updates with the Dataverse, it automatically applies to it, debugging, published app, and various other options. We will learn slowly. Next one is display. How you wanted to display. This is what I was telling. Landscape or portrait. When you select the app as a table layout, it by default apply landscape. If you select an app portrait, it by default sets the style as portrait. See that. I'm selecting this time phone. Click on create. Go to settings, and if you notice the way how the screen size, and look at the screen size, the screen width and height is different, and here width and height is different. You go to settings and say display. What is the default you see here? Portrait. But whereas here display, what is the default you see? Landscape. And what is the ratio? 16:9. And here ratio itself is nothing, and you can change the ratio how you want it. Okay, and here there is no way. And scale to fit means try to adjust the screen size automatically when user is running onto the mobile, irrespective of the mobile model what they are. And the lock aspect ratio means the dimensions, and lock orientation is always off. These are all comes as an advanced topics, we will learn that. And the next one is upcoming features. These are all the various features you can enable and disable at the app level. There are three features you could see here. One is preview, experimental, retired, and there is another thing called GA, general availability. Microsoft, when they are creating new features for the Power Apps or Office 365, they segregate their changes into four parts. First part, they call it as experimental, absolutely experimental. They are trying on some ideas as per the user's feedback. It may stay back or it may go off. Another one is preview, meaning they have experimented it and they're good to start using it, but it is not a stable version. You may end up seeing lot of errors if you try to use preview features. And third one is GA, general availability, meaning that it is qualified with all the test cases and good to use in your production app creation. And there is no way Microsoft will call off that feature in the future. Last one is retired. They have tried something, didn't work out, they'll just call off. It will not be available anymore in that Power App portal. That is how they divided. మైక్రోసాఫ్ట్ 4 విధాలుగా వాళ్ళ సర్వీసెస్ ని డివైడ్ చేసిందండి. ఫస్ట్ అప్రోచ్ ఏంటంటే ఎక్స్పెరిమెంటల్ అప్రోచ్. యూజర్స్ ఇచ్చినటువంటి ఫీడ్బ్యాక్ ని బేస్ చేసుకుని వాళ్ళు కొన్ని ఫీచర్స్ ని క్రియేట్ చేస్తారు. క్రియేట్ చేసి దాన్ని ఫస్ట్ ఎక్స్పెరిమెంటల్ ఫీచర్ అని అంటారు. ఎక్స్పెరిమెంటల్ ఫీచర్ లో ఉన్నటువంటి ఫీచర్ ని మీరు యూస్ చేసుకునేటప్పుడు చాలా అప్రమత్తంగా ఉండాలి, చాలా కేర్ఫుల్ గా ఉండాలి. ఎందుకంటే ఆ ఫీచర్ ఎప్పుడైనా కూడా మైక్రోసాఫ్ట్ డీయాక్టివేట్ చేసేస్తుంది. మనం ఆల్రెడీ తెలుసుకున్న ఆఫీస్ 365 అనేది మన ఎన్విరాన్మెంట్ కాదు, వాళ్ళ ఎన్విరాన్మెంట్. వాళ్ళు ఎప్పుడు కావాలంటే అప్పుడు కొత్త ఫీచర్స్ ని యాడ్ చేస్తారు, ఎప్పుడు కావాలంటే అప్పుడు ఉన్న ఫీచర్స్ ని డిలీట్ చేసేస్తారు. కాబట్టి ఎక్స్పెరిమెంటల్ ఫీచర్స్ ని చాలా చాలా కేర్ఫుల్ గా వాడాలి. మనం వాడేటప్పుడు అది మనం ప్రొడక్షన్ యాప్ అయితే ఖచ్చితంగా వాడకూడదు. రెండోది ప్రివ్యూ. ఎక్స్పెరిమెంట్ అయిపోయిన తర్వాత ఓకే, ఇట్ క్వాలిఫైడ్ అట్ లెవెల్ 1, లెవెల్ 2 లోకి వెళ్తుంది. ప్రివ్యూలో ఉన్నప్పుడు కూడా మీరు యూస్ చేయొచ్చు, బట్ ఎన్షూర్ దట్ మీరు ప్రొడక్షన్ లోకి ఆ ప్రివ్యూ ఫీచర్స్ ని ఇంక్లూడ్ చేయొద్దు. ఎందుకంటే ప్రివ్యూలో ఉన్నవి కూడా ఎప్పుడైనా వాళ్ళు కాల్ ఆఫ్ చేసేయచ్చు, ఎప్పుడైనా డీయాక్టివేట్ చేయొచ్చు, డిజేబుల్ చేయొచ్చు. థర్డ్ వన్ ఏంటంటే జనరల్ అవైలబిలిటీ. జనరల్ అవైలబిలిటీ ఫేజ్ లోకి ఏ ఫీచర్ అయితే వెళ్తుందో దాన్ని ఫుల్లీ క్వాలిఫైడ్ ఫీచర్ అని అంటారు. అంటే ఫుల్ గా టెస్ట్ అయ్యి అప్రూవ్స్ అన్ని వచ్చి ఎక్స్టర్నల్ వరల్డ్ యూస్ చేసుకోవడానికి, ప్రొడక్షన్ ఎన్విరాన్మెంట్ లో యూస్ చేసుకోవడానికి మైక్రోసాఫ్ట్ సర్టిఫై చేసినటువంటి ఫీచర్స్. అందు గురించే జనరల్ అవైలబిలిటీ అనే ట్యాబ్ ఇక్కడ మీకు లేదు. జనరల్ అవైలబిలిటీలో ఉన్నటువంటి అన్ని కూడా బై డిఫాల్ట్ గా మీకు పోర్టల్లో వచ్చేస్తాయి. కాబట్టి అందుకే అది ఇక్కడ ఉండదు. లాస్ట్ వన్ ఏంటంటే రిటైర్డ్. వాళ్ళు కొన్ని ట్రై చేశారు, అది వర్కౌట్ అవ్వలేదు, ది కాల్ రిటైర్డ్. రిటైర్డ్ లోకి వెళ్ళి కూర్చుంటాయి. చూడండి, ఇక్కడ మీరు రిటైర్డ్ లోకి వెళ్తే కొన్ని ఆప్షన్స్ ఉంటాయి. దీస్ ఆర్ ఆల్ ది వేరియస్ ఫీచర్స్ దే హ్యావ్ tried but did not work out. So by default అన్ని కూడా మీకు డిసేబుల్ ఉంటాయి. There are some things which still says enabled, but you don't have to worry about it. And experimental is, these are all the experimental features. And these are all preview features. Last one is support. It shows you various other options for support. Any questions so far?
No, sir.
No, sir.
కొంచెం
sir.
బోరింగ్ గా ఉందా? థియరీ టాపిక్ నడుస్తుందని లెట్స్ గో అండ్
లేదు సార్.
No, sir. No, sir.
okay, let's go ahead and explore these options. ఇక్కడ నుంచి కొంచెం ఫోకస్ చేయండి అన్న. ఇంపార్టెంట్ టాపిక్స్ ఇప్పటి వరకు మనం సెట్టింగ్స్ థియరీ నేర్చుకున్నాము. ఇక్కడ నుంచి చాలా చాలా ఫోకస్ చేయండి, ఎందుకంటే మనం ఆప్షన్స్ కంట్రోల్స్ నేర్చుకుంటున్నాం. ఫస్ట్ వన్ ఇస్ హోమ్. ఇక్కడ మీకున్న ఆప్షన్స్ ఏంటంటే హోమ్ లో స్క్రీన్స్ ఉంటాయి. దీస్ ఆర్ ఆల్ ద వేరియస్ టైప్ ఆఫ్ స్క్రీన్స్ యూ కెన్ క్రియేట్ ఇన్ ఎ పవర్ యాప్. బ్లాంక్ స్క్రీన్ మీరు చూస్తుంది బ్లాంక్ స్క్రీన్. వాట్ యూ సీ హియర్ ఇస్ అ బ్లాంక్ స్క్రీన్. ద నెక్స్ట్ స్క్రీన్ ఇస్ స్క్రోలబుల్ స్క్రీన్. వెన్ యూ జస్ట్ క్లిక్ ఆన్ దట్ ఇట్ యాడ్స్ దట్ స్క్రీన్ ఆన్ టు ది యాప్. మనం మన డాటెడ్ పోర్టల్లో, విజువల్ స్టూడియో పోర్టల్లో ఎలా అయితే మనం డ్రాగ్ అండ్ డ్రాప్ ఉందో సేమ్ ఇక్కడ డ్రాగ్ అండ్ డ్రాప్ ఉండదు. జస్ట్ క్లిక్, డ్రాగ్ అండ్ డ్రాప్. మనకు అన్ఫార్చునేట్ గా డ్రాగ్ అండ్ డ్రాప్ లేదు. జస్ట్ క్లిక్, ఇట్ ఆటోమేటికలీ యాడ్స్ దట్. ఇప్పుడు మీరు బ్లాంక్ స్క్రీన్ కి స్క్రోలబుల్ స్క్రీన్ కి మనం సెకండ్ స్క్రీన్ ఏం యాడ్ చేసామండి? స్క్రోలబుల్ స్క్రీన్. ఇఫ్ యూ నోటీస్ దిస్ డిఫరెన్స్ బిట్వీన్ ద బ్లాంక్ స్క్రీన్ and scrollable screen, in the blank screen I don't have any controls on that, but whereas in the scrollable screen I have some controls by default. They are canvas control, label, and a icon or rectangle. And if you see here, The rectangle is this, a rectangle with some fill color on it, and then followed by a label. The label is this. This is the label. But most important one is canvas. If you notice this one, this is the canvas. But why this screen is called scrollable screen is just keep on add the sections. Keep on adding the sections. If you notice here, I see a scrolling here. See that? I can make my screen as long as you want. You can add hundreds of controls and the scroll bar automatically comes in. I did not add any scroller, right? It automatically come in. That is the beauty with this screen type. When you add a scrollable screen onto app, it automatically enables the scroll icon or scroll option on the screen. I did not add anything. If you notice, I just added only the sections. All the sections got added and dynamically I see the scroll option on the screen, right? So that is the purpose of this screen type. The next one is list. In this screen, I also got some options by default. The one of the option is called gallery, label, and rectangle. Okay, these are various screens, type of screens. We will learn while we are creating the app and while we are doing the apps. The next one is label, standard. A label has only reason to add here is to show some text to read while you are presenting your data on the screen. And button is to submit, simple submit, cancel, approve all the operations you wanted to perform. What is the basic difference between the label and button is button comes with additional properties. What are those properties? When you click on the control, here is where you could see all the properties you can all the properties or functions you can perform on that control. By default, when you select a control, default property mostly you would see is on select. When you just click on that, for the label, the default property you could see text. But do I have on select for this label? Yes, I do have. I can trigger or I can perform some operation even by clicking on a label also. Okay, and button also I can see, and button has additional properties as border radius. If you see, I got a curvy edged button, right? Now when you go here, I can say border radius to 50. Look at that. My button became a capsule button now. Now, if I just say 100, automatically it just reduce. But how you could see is that when you just change the radius or height and width of the button, now button became circle. Now, if I just say 15 here, 50 here, you could see the border radius. But that property is not available for label. Okay, so there are some differences you could see between control to control. Okay, and button label and button both has the border property. If you see here, it has border for this also. Let's say 5. There you go. And button also has the same property. Okay, and next one is button has 3 different modes, display modes. When you see disable, edit, and view. I want to make my button as just view. When do you want to do that? When you want to render your screen for the user to read the data, but I don't want the user to perform anything. That time I can make the button as view. When you convert your button as view, there is no difference between label and a button Only one difference you could see is that border radius. A button can be a curved border radius, but the label cannot be. బటన్ కి లేబుల్ కి పెద్ద డిఫరెన్స్ ఏమీ ఉండదండి. వ్యూ అని పెడితే డిస్ప్లే వ్యూ అని పెడితే ఆ బటన్ బిహేవ్స్ యాజ్ గుడ్ యాజ్ ఎ లేబుల్ లానే బిహేవ్ చేస్తుంది. కానీ ఓన్లీ ఒక్క డిఫరెన్స్ ఏంటంటే బోర్డర్ రేడియస్ అనే ప్రాపర్టీ లేబుల్ కు ఉండదు. And the next one is disabled. When I click on disabled, you cannot click on the button anyways. It is a disabled button. You cannot perform any operations. Similarly, when you click on view also, nothing. Only when you have the button behavior as edit, that is when you can just perform any click operation. Some reason it is just processing. Let's wait for a minute. Any questions? Students, మనం కంట్రోల్స్ నేర్చుకుంటున్నాము. Don't hesitate if you have any question. Anyone has any question? Manoj, may I ask you to go on mute?
Sir, am I audible?
Now you are audible. Amma. Go ahead. Hello?
Sir, what by default in 3?
Manoj, you are breaking up.
No?
You're breaking up. Type Chinna any message, any question in the so that it will be. Is Manoj, just go ahead and type your question in the chat. Can we get button by default in screen 3? Unfortunately, no. Depends on the screen type. Okay, but you can add the button as and when you want. Nothing stopping us. You can add it by default. And the next controls are text box controls. These are all text related controls, and these are all input controls where it takes the input, various input controls. Button text input is nothing but text box, and pen input is to provide the pen icon when you wanted to create a signature. When you go here and just save. That's how a pen control works. And the next one is drop down button, and next one is combo box. What is the difference between a drop down and combo? A combo box also has a behavior of search. I can just search here, but the drop down doesn't have that. All you could do is you can just select one of the item under the drop down. That's the biggest difference between combo box and drop down. Drop down here in Canvas app, you cannot do more than one selection. Multi selection doesn't work in drop down, but the combo box you can select any number of items. But drop down you can only select one item at any point of time. Next one, date picker. To select the date, by default date picker will come with the default date as today's date. If you don't want to see that, you can always say, but even then you can see some date in a masked format. Masked format in the sense that it's not something you can take it as a default date. How you could see that? It is there under input placeholder. When you just remove this, you don't even see that also. Now if you come here, now if you just remove this date, you don't see anything as a default date. Earlier we see some date by default as a gray text format, right? That's what we can date picker is all about. Date control is all about. And checkbox we know very well. List box is to show list of items. Here you can again select the multi-select. Multi-select is by default to true. You can select more than one item, but it just occupy the screen space when you compare with other controls like combo box. And the next one is radio button. Radio button is to say yes or no, or when you say gender creation, that's where it uses that. We will try to use as many as we can. The toggle button used to say on and off, or true or false, basically. And these are three important, very important controls: container, horizontal, vertical containers we use for mobile oriented apps. When you want to make your app flexible on both desktop and mobile, that is when we will use these these two containers, vertical and horizontal containers, because I want to make my app responsive on both the places. Very advanced. We will learn that also. And very, 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 very important control in Power Apps is gallery. We also call it as grid, right? In the grid, what you see here is gallery. So this is the control we have to must learn that, because anybody can create a Canvas app, but nobody can create a Canvas app without using a gallery control. Okay, so we'll spend most time here to understand what is a gallery, how a gallery control works, and everything. The data table gallery control is nothing but what you see here. It just takes a data source as a input, and it works on that. When you wanted to show the data in a tabular format is when you will add gallery. డేటా ఫార్మేట్లో, టేబుల్ ఫార్మేట్లో ఎప్పుడైతే మీరు డేటా రిప్రజెంట్ చేద్దాం అనుకుంటున్నారో అప్పుడు మీరు గ్యాలరీ వాడతారండి. సో సిమిలర్ కంట్రోల్ ఏంటంటే డేటా టేబుల్ సేమ్, బోత్ ఆర్ సేమ్. డేటా టేబుల్ నెక్స్ట్ మన గ్యాలరీ బోత్ వర్క్స్ సేమ్, బట్ ఓన్లీ డిఫరెన్స్ ఈస్ దట్ యూ కెనాట్ select, or you cannot write the on select behavior for డేటా టేబుల్. మీరు చూస్తే డేటా టేబుల్ చూసారా, మీకు డేటా టేబుల్ కూడా సేమ్ సిమిలర్ గా ఉంటుంది, సిమిలర్ యాజ్ గ్యాలరీ. మీరు గ్యాలరీ ఎలా అయితే ఉందో అలాగే టాబ్లెట్ ఫార్మేట్ లోనే ఉంటుంది, కాకపోతే ఇట్ హ్యాస్ లాట్ ఆఫ్ లిమిటేషన్స్. ఐ కెనాట్ మేక్ మై టేబుల్ టు బి అన్ఈవెన్ విత్. ఇప్పుడు మీరు చూస్తే 4 కాలమ్స్ కి కూడా ఈక్వల్ విడ్త్ ని అది ఆటోమేటిక్ ఇస్తుంది. మనం కంప్రెస్ చేస్తూ ఉంటే ఆటోమేటిక్ గా కంప్రెస్ అవుతుంది విడ్త్. But if I want more space for account name alone, or if I want more space for address alone, you cannot make it. There is no flexibility that I can make only one column more, having more width అనేది మనం డిఫైన్ చేయలేము. సో దట్ ఈస్ ది బేసిక్ ఇష్యూ విత్ డేటా టేబుల్. అదేవిధంగా డేటా టేబుల్లో ఒక రోని నేను సెలెక్ట్ చేసుకోలేను, ఒక పర్టికులర్ రోని సెలెక్ట్ చేసుకోవాలంటే అవ్వదు. So data table has some limitations. Just to only read purpose, we can use that.
Sir,
చెప్పమ్మా సోనియా.
sir, sir, మా దాంట్లో గ్యాలరీ ఇంకా డేటా టేబుల్
ఇక్కడ
లేదు సార్.
లాస్ట్ లోకి వెళ్తే మీ స్క్రీన్ సైజ్ చిన్నగా ఉంటుందమ్మా. ఇక్కడ పక్క లాస్ట్ లోకి వెళ్తే ఇక్కడ మీరు క్లిక్ చేస్తే వస్తుంది చూడండి, చిన్న డ్రాప్ డౌన్, ఇలాంటి డ్రాప్ డౌన్ ఉంటుంది చూడండి. మీకు మీ స్క్రీన్ సైజ్ ఇలా ఉంటుంది నాకు తెలిసి. చూడండి అమ్మా, ఇలాంటి డ్రాప్ డౌన్ ఏదో వచ్చి ఉంటుంది చూడండి, అది క్లిక్ చేస్తే ఈ డేటా టేబుల్ ఉంటుంది.
ఓకే సార్, థ్యాంక్ యూ సార్. I got it, sir.
Another very important control is forms. We will learn forms also. Most of the time we will spend on gallery, form, text box, and button. Okay, and the next one is media. If I want to,
సార్
yes sir,
సార్ ఒకసారి బటన్ యాడ్ చేసిన దగ్గర నుంచి చెప్పరా ఒకసారి?
just click on the button, it will get add the button. బటన్ యాడ్ చేసిన దగ్గర నుంచి మళ్ళీ చెప్పనమ్మా. Hello.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
సూర్య, నువ్వు అడిగేది ఏంటి తెలుస్తుందా? బటన్ యాడ్ చేసిన దగ్గర నుంచి మళ్ళీ చెప్పమంటే మొత్తం కంట్రోల్స్ ని మళ్ళీ ఎక్స్ప్లెయిన్ చేయనా?
No, sir. Only button ఒకసారి చెప్పండి సార్.
ఓకే, బటన్ ఈజ్ కంట్రోల్ ఇన్ పవర్ యాప్స్. బటన్ యూస్ చేసి మనం ఆన్ సెలెక్ట్ ఏమైనా ఆపరేషన్స్ పర్ఫామ్ చేయాలంటే అప్రూవ్ కానీ సబ్మిట్ కానీ క్యాన్సిల్ ఆపరేషన్స్ పర్ఫామ్ చేసేటప్పుడు బటన్స్ యూస్ చేస్తాము. Button has a different property called border radius. Depends on the border radius, the behavior of the button changes. Corners adjust of the border radius అనేది ఇప్పుడు నేను border radius 50 పెట్టానంటే the behavior changes. ఇప్పుడు border radius 0 చేస్తే ఫ్లాట్ గా ఒక rectangle box లాగా వస్తుంది. border radius 100 చేస్తే it turns out to be a circle. But to make it circle, just ensure that height and width are the same. So automatically that converts as a circle. Button label works similar, only the difference is the radius. Otherwise they both work similar, but on hover behavior, so there are some differences you would see. And the button has three display modes: the edit, display and view. When you go on to disabled mode, it will not let you select when you are executing the app. When you execute the app or when you play the app, you cannot select because you disabled the app. When you just say that to edit and you can select, now you can select because button is with edit mode. When you just say view, it is as good as a label. Just it will let you read the data on that. It will not let you select anything on that. That's the important property you should know for the button. Button important properties are display mode, border radius, border, color, on select, and the properties for any control on Power Apps. Just select the property and just walk through on the left hand rail under this drop down. Okay, is that clear, Surya?
Yes, sir.
No
Thank you.
problem. And the next control is media controls. There are various other media controls. I can render photos, images, 3D objects, videos. I can render audio stream also as part of this media controls. Example, I can just get say that this is the image, copy the link address of this image, go on to the app. Here image, under this I can just provide that image URL. Automatically it will render that photo here. Did I copy the right one? No. There it is. Copy this and just paste it here. Now you see, automatically I can see that photo here, right? And that I can change it to center, fill, fit, stretch. And it's a stretch, it comes like that. When I say fill, it automatically fill into that image width and height, and it automatically centers and stretches as per the dimension of my image. If the image is having high quality, it automatically just shows you high quality. Okay, similarly video also, when you click on when you add the video control, I can provide a media URL. You can provide a YouTube link here, it automatically renders. Okay, and audio also same. Similarly, you if you have any audio object, you can upload into media center here under the media. We will discuss that also in a minute. And you can just say you want to auto start the video, you want to loop the video, meaning like just iterate a number of times. Okay, you can just do that. And next one is chart, the reports, icons, or the plus icon, cancel icon, pencil icon if you want to add as part of the screen. So this is where you could see the pencil icons and custom. This is called components. Advanced topic we will learn artificial intelligence related objects and mixed reality related objects. So these two are completely out of our course because these two are level 3 concepts, like very advanced concepts. Okay, and the next one is view. It will show you all the data sources, meaning like databases you wanted to associate are already associated. When you click on here, it will show you what are all the databases which are using as part of this. What are all the databases you are leveraging in this app? And next one is media. It will show you all the medias, meaning if you have any images uploaded into your app, it will show you those images into here. Okay, and the next one is collections. Collections are arrays. We will learn that. Collections is a vast topic. We will learn that. And next one is variables. If you are using any variables and you wanted to know what are all the variables you are using, when you click on that, it will show you all the variables you have used as part of this app. And next one is advanced. It will show you all the advanced properties of the selected control. Now the control I am here, this, and it automatically show you all the various other properties I can set to this image control. The standard properties are these, and all the advanced properties for this image I can just see here. Okay, any questions so far?
Sir,
Yes, sir.
sir, can you please tell me what are the variables, sir?
Regular variables. In any programming language we use variables, right? We will learn that. For just to understand what are all the menu options, we are just exploring the menus here, Manoj. Okay, and the
Okay,
next
sir.
one is action. What are all the various actions we can perform on that? Selected control. Last but not least, settings. We have already gone through the settings. And let's understand the left hand drive. The first one is plus. It will show you all the controls what you see here, same controls you could see here. And this one is to add a new data source or see all the data sources available at the app level. What are all the databases I am? If I want to add any additional databases, click on here and just search for what database you wanted to add. I wanted to add a SharePoint, just search for SharePoint, click on here. If I want to add Excel, just say Excel. Excel Online is something it renders from OneDrive, which is again one of the option you will see in Office 365 or online. Okay, so you can just select whatever you want. Next one is media, which is what you want to see on top of your app, all the images, the MP3, MP4 videos you wanted to add, you can upload here and just associate onto your app. And this is to Power Automate. You can create a flow from here directly. You don't even have to go onto flow.microsoft.com. You don't have to go up to here and just go out. This is something that Microsoft added just very recently, 1.5 months they have added this icon. And next one is, this is the advanced tool. This is where you will see monitoring for debugging the app and test cases you can write. And next one is the search icon. Using the search icon, you can search all various controls as part of your app. These are all various options you would see on the Maker portal. Any questions on this? Now we will quickly create an app with some basic operations. Okay, cool, very good. Now I'm going to just create a sample, very sample app. Okay, the screen one. First thing is always learn the best practices. The best practices for creating a screen and naming the screen as SCR home screen. So which means that SCR stands for screen, home screen. Always do that. And next one is I'm adding a label here. Add the label and mention the label name as by just double clicking. You can change the label name, or you can come here and just change the label name. Label always follows LBL followed by okay label heading. But this heading will be there in every screen, right? Say like LBLHS heading, meaning like a label home screen heading. Okay, students, remember the way how I'm creating first three characters in lowercase, second characters are in uppercase, and this full form of the label in first character is in uppercase and all the characters are in lowercase. This type of notation is called camel notation. CAML, camel notation. Okay, I repeat, లేబుల్ నేమ్ క్రియేట్ చేసిన ప్యాటర్న్ ని క్యామెల్ నొటేషన్ అంటారండి. ఇందులో మీరు గమనిస్తే ఎల్బిఎల్ అనేది స్మాల్ కేస్ లో ఇచ్చాను, హెచ్ఎస్ అనేది అప్పర్ కేస్ లో ఇచ్చాను, హెడ్డింగ్ అనే ఫుల్ వర్డ్ లో హెచ్ అనేది అప్పర్ కేస్ లో ఇచ్చాను. దీన్ని క్యామెల్ నొటేషన్ అంటారు. ఐటీలో ఫాలో అయ్యే నొటేషన్ ఇది క్యామెల్ నొటేషన్, CAML. ఓకే, you have to adopt to this notation. ఈ నొటేషన్ మీకు ఏ ప్రోగ్రామింగ్ లాంగ్వేజ్ లోనే ఉంటుంది, జావా, .NET, యూ నేమ్ ఇట్, పైథాన్, వాట్ నాన్ సెన్స్, ఎనీ లాంగ్వేజ్. ఇది గ్లోబల్ నేమింగ్ కన్వెన్షన్. ఓకే, అండ్ నౌ ఇఫ్ ఐ జస్ట్ వాంట్ టు జస్ట్ మేక్ ఇట్ as full width, just make it, just drag that. And now I want to change the font to 15 or 25 and just make the text center align, provide some background, thick background, and just provide white color. And I want to make my text in 4 different ways: bold, semi-bold, normal, and lighter also. I'll say semi-bold, say sample first. There it is. Also just say present, it automatically comes like that. Now go ahead and say label, again LBL, name first name, button to say first one is to submit, second one is to say cancel. Both wanted to be at the same height and width, so I just selected both of them at 45 and say 210 as my width. There, I selected both of them, hold select shift button and select both of them. You can just see, apply the properties both. But if you see, I cannot if I have a difference in property, it will just show it as blank. Now if you see, the X position of this button is 872, X position of this button is 1111. So what, when I select both of them, multiple behaviors I could see. Also the text also be said like multiple. So if I just select both of them and say like sample, both get set to sample. Don't do that mistake. When it's a different, means that it is both are not same controls, so do not set it to same control. That property, that you have to be careful on that. And I usually don't love to see button with the border. And if you see, when I hover, it's showing a different color, right? Let's not worry about that now. Let's add a text box here. By default text is coming. I just remove the by default text, so I will see my text box as blank. select those two controls, copy and paste. So you could see second, third. Now this one is last name. Okay, and the next one is see how quickly I'm able to create. Gender DAR or DER? Can somebody tell me on that? I'm always get confused on that.
DER, sir.
And the next one is drop down. So go to input and say drop down. And here items I wanted to drop down as male, female. So this is what I was telling. You see that if there is any error on your app, it automatically shows you. And just go there and show you why. Okay. Ah, some reason my internet is very bad today. Sorry about that. So it is not able to resolve. Ideally, I can just mention the drop down values as like that. Just go here. You can provide an array and to drop down. Come on. What's happening? Sorry guys, my internet is very bad today. There it is. Any questions so far? Do you guys hear me or no? See that? Now it is coming. Same thing. It was not able to resolve just before. So I just added all the controls. I just select all the controls, say that, and put it wherever you want. Now, as part of submit on select, I wanted to show every value what I have provided as part of this text boxes. Okay, how I can do that is for a text box, the labeling is txt f name. So text box first name. Guys, are you able to follow me? So
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
txt l name, and this one is txt address. And now address cannot be in one line, right? So just select that and say mode of the address as multi-line. Okay. And now if I wanted to just say this one, select this and say secret code. Okay, that I can say it as a password. See how it will behave when I change the text type as password. Now just play the app and see. It don't even show you what it is. Okay, usually when you are creating username and password, just change the behavior of the text as password, mode of the text as password. Okay, and if you change the mode of the text as multi-line, make it as address, and see the scroller automatically come. But at here, it enter itself won't work because it is a single line of text. Now if you go here, say single line, but for this it is multi-line. Okay, are you able to follow me? Okay,
Yes,
now
sir.
I wanted to show all the data, whatever I selected here. Notify is to show it as a message on the app. It comes as a ribbon on top of the app. So what I wanted to say is selected values, and ampersand is to do a concatenation. I wanted to say first selected value, and then I want to show whatever I selected. Now txt f name, which is text box control, first text box control dot text. I wanted to show the text, right? So close the parenthesis and say here, click on submit. There it is. That notification will show you text. That is how I can read the data from the text. How I can read the data from a drop down? Go here, ampersand, drop down 1, drop down 3, dot selected dot value. Always remember, drop down should be mentioned as DRP or DP, both works. DRP gender. Okay, now beauty with Power Apps is, now I have changed the control name. When you go to button, on button, the formula automatically got changed, right? Just click on format text, just formats the text properly. Now if you see, I did not change the formula by coming over here. If you change the label name, Power App automatically replace all the names whatever they are using as part of the screen. Okay, the last thing what I wanted to cover today is that select the app, select the screen, go to the fill property of the screen, just say this, it automatically change the background color. But if I want to apply a background image for the screen, say this, and just to ensure it is just copy and background image, double quotes, just provide that. See the beauty. It automatically applies the background color for that app directly there. Just change that, select all of the controls, change the color of this control as that. And if you want to just reduce the impact of the background image, we can do that. We'll see that later. Now select this and image position as fit, center or type, center the editors. Fill, it automatically fills in. If you want to just fit in, fits in, stretch, or if you want it as style, if the image is smart, it automatically comes like this. Okay. Usually when it comes to Canvas app, look and feel is more important. So you will have to be very careful while you are presenting your app, when especially when you are creating app in Canvas app. So user comes to Canvas app to see their app in a more colorful way. So you should always be proactive and just create app as colorful as you could. Okay. Any questions so far, guys, today?
No, sir.
Okay. And the
No, sir.
notation for button is BTN. Now, I don't want these values to be like this. I want to reset the values. How I can do that is go to select button, sorry, cancel button, select reset txt f name. Remember, you cannot reset more than one control in one time. So if you want to reset last name also, unfortunately, you will have to say reset txt name. That many reset statements you need to write. You can expand format text, it automatically formats the formula properly. Now, if I just play the app, click on cancel, automatically it will paste. Okay, so that is how you can create a app quickly. Now I just say save. First time when you create app and save, it automatically shows you publish. What is the difference between save and publish? When you save the app, changes can be seen only by the app maker. External people cannot see that. People who are playing the app cannot see. Only the maker can see the changes. But the time you click on publish, all the changes will be visible to everybody who is playing the app. Very important. Well, unless you publish the app, nobody can see those changes. Again, go to make.powerapps.com. Now, if you go to make.powerapps.com, go to apps. I see the app as see this sample app 2 with mobile. Here it is coming with the mobile. Now, if I just click on the app, play the app, that's what it comes. If you notice that refrigerator is coming for an eye blinking time in the beginning, right? So if you want to see a BMW car there, you can always go on to app settings, add image, just download that image and set that image here. Okay. Any questions, students, for today?
No, sir.
Good job.
No, sir.
Good job.
No, sir.
Homework for tomorrow
No,
is
sir.
I want every one of you to create a sample app and apply the properties whatever we discussed today. Again, tomorrow also I will call names randomly and I will see you to create a screen with heading, apply some background image and use the notify and cancel properties. I will call names randomly. Whoever don't complete their homework, I'll ask Devakar sir to speak with you for the reason why you were not able to complete. Clear?